Gentlemen, appreciate you taking the time to come here. Let me tell you my perspective, which is, as Chairman of the Finance Committee, and I speak for all members of Congress, we've got to find ways to reduce our annual deficits and our debt. It's not an easy task. And to do so, we have to find an approach that's balanced across the board. There are lots of interests, lots of competing areas where we can cut. We all know that. So we've got to find a fair solution, one that's shared by Americans or perceived by Americans to be pretty fair, pretty balanced, within bounds of reason. What you said, Mr. Tillerson, and what you all said in many respects is true. You do pay high taxes. That is true. But it is also true your foreign taxes are higher than your domestic taxes. That chart showed worldwide rate. Your domestic tax rate is quite a bit lower than your worldwide rate. It is also true that the price of gasoline is determined primarily by the world price of crude. That's the primary determinant. World price goes way up, gasoline prices go up. But it is also true that when the world price goes up, the after-tax profits of your companies go up very significantly because your costs don't go up as much, at least in the last year or so, as the world price has gone up of crude. When world crude prices go up at such a high rate, then your profit margins go way up. That's true. And it also seems to me, based on the evidence, that if, according to your financial reporting statements, if your average cost is roughly $10, $11 a barrel, if you add in intangible drilling, maybe it goes up to closer to $20 a barrel. But in 1910, your profits, your after-tax profits, was about 72 bucks. Your after-tax, your revenue, your gross revenue was about $72 a barrel, and this year it's much higher. So it just looks, according to the evidence, this is not a matter of singling anybody out. Just it's your companies and how much gross profits you make, and it is not based on your subsidies. It's based on world price of crude. That's what it's really based on. That may be a fair way to get at reducing our deficit, our debt, is to reduce, tail back, if not eliminate, the tax breaks, which do not have much effect on your decisions to produce. It doesn't have much effect because your profits are so high. According to your reports, ExxonMobil, for every dollar increase in crude, ExxonMobil's after-tax profits go up to, I think it's 375 million a year. If you add all five of you together, it's about for every $1 increase in crude, your after-tax profits go up $1 billion altogether, totaled all up. And the subsidies we're talking about here, there's $21 billion over 10, roughly $2 billion 1 year. Break that down to a quarter of two, that's $500 million. So if you, this is rough. I grant you this is rough. But if the price of oil were to go down $2 a barrel, that'd be more than the elimination of these subsidies. So these subsidies really do not have much effect on your decisions of where to produce. It's the profits you have and your rate of return you're going to get in different locations that really, I'm guessing, have a much greater effect on your ability to produce. So tell me what's wrong with my analysis. It just seems, frankly, that you're making a lot of money. That's fine. It's the American way. But it also seems that maybe the subsidies are not really that necessary anymore. Many of them given many years ago. Mr. Tillerson, 199 is really the aftermath, as we all know, the substitute for FISC ETI. FISC ETI was intended to give American companies a break, an export break. WTO ruled it illegal, so Congress passed 199 for everybody. And it's my recollection, back the FISC ETI really wasn't used very much by you guys. So it was kind of a gift, 199. And other companies do use it for export, I mean, in effect, whereas you don't as much. So I just asked the question, I don't know who wants to answer it. It just seems to me, as we try to get our deficits and debt under control, that, and with oil prices so high, and because the subsidies are so low compared to the increase in crude oil prices, that they don't need it near as much as one might initially think.